These are two of the top teams in all of D3 Lacrosse. The guy, Dan Ariesta, at Inside Lacrosse, said this was the one to watch tonight. And it's kind of easy to see why. There's the amount of talent. There are more than a dozen All-Americans on this field, and this one's going to be a great one.
I mean, for the Jumbos last year, they didn't lose a single game until that fated national championship game. But this will be a major test for the Jumbos, and if they can win this game, especially if they win it convincingly like they're so used to, I mean, that bodes very well for their prospects going forward.
Captains win the initial draw. Jumbos immediately going to bring a ride. Give it away. Shot, score! 5 seconds in, Jumbos take the lead.
And that goal being scored by Max Eddinghausen with 5 goals last Saturday against the Camels, already off 15 seconds into this game, putting the Jumbos up 1-0.
Yeah, and that is not something we expected. An easy face-off win for the goals, and the Jumbos just send the ride, force the early error, and it's 1-0 just like that. That one's still being fought for. Meril's going to come up with it himself. Or excuse me, that was Salcedo. And the Jumbos will set up with Brooks Hauser. Swung around. Start.
I did, and that's his 17th goal of the season already in just the early stages of Game 6.
Clean face-off win by Parker Meril, but they're going to get a violation. They're going to say he clamped down there. And that'll allow the captains to go right into their settled offense. Or not, because the Jumbos, they don't care about conventions. They're going to bring the ride, knock the ball free. It's on the turf. And I think a push called on Frizzoli.
Frizzoli with a valiant attempt to win the ball.
Yeah, I mean, great his look right now.
I mean, we're less than 5 minutes and already 3 goals on the board. One of those, of course, being from Eddinghausen on the fluky play. But in the settled offense, so to speak, in regular non-freak plays, it's 2-0 Captains right now.
It is. Jumbo's going to get their first real settled look of the day. Regnery here. No matter what you think he's going to do, he'll find another way to beat you.
And that is the 6th goal on the season, first of the day for Igneri, giving the Jumbos the lead right back.
Salcedo, with another face-off win. He's now 3 for 4 from the dot. After losing the first one, has not lost since.
That being the first goal on the season for Emsing. Doing a great job, not taking much time to get that power play goal, tying this game at 2.
First career goal for Will Emsing. Parker Meril, another face-off win. Going hard, gonna shoot, blocked by the body. That one's on the turf. And eventually corralled by Hamway. Jumbo's not gonna bring an aggressive ride here. Gonna hold simple mistakes on the clear when the Jumbos weren't even bringing a ride there.
In a game like this, with 2 of the top 4 teams in the country, you can't afford to make those mistakes. Those 2 goals could very well be the difference in this game.
That one is another mistake as a ground ball just given away. Stick went out. Frizzoli's from distance.
Ben Frizzoli just with a head of steam, winding up, firing on Hanway, the goalkeeper, putting the Jumbos up 3.
Yeah, and I mean, that is, once again, an unforced error from the captains, as it looked as if they had won the draw cleanly. And then it was Brett Kelly who just lost the ball out of his stick. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, assume it must have been the water on this turf. But gave it away, and when you give opportunities like that to Ben Frizzoli, you're just asking to be scored upon.
And when any player gets a clean face-off win, is allowed to just sprint towards the opposing goal, it's a pretty good chance that ball's going in.
Jumbo's going to bring a heavy ride here. See if the captains can get it out this time. Opportunities like that to Ben Frizzoli, you're just asking to be scored upon.
And when any player gets a clean face-off win, is allowed to just sprint towards the opposing goal, it's a pretty good chance that ball's going in.
Jumbo's going to bring a heavy ride here. See if the captains can get it out this time. Yeah, I mean, Justin, it seems like the Jumbos have had a little bit of the edge from the face-off dot so far. As Salcedo wins that draw. That's his 4th consecutive win from the face-off circle.
Yeah, and you mentioned that the Jumbos having won 7 of the 10 face-offs to begin this game, so they're getting plenty of attacking chances based on that, off of that alone.
Regneri, great spin dodge, gets 2 on him, gets around them both, gets his hands free, and scores. How did he just do that?
Regneri just with high motor, getting with the will to get around his defender, dropping that stick to the negative angle, getting the shot but past the goalie, putting the Jumbos up by 3. Again, another quick start for the Jumbos. Eddinghausen scoring 15 seconds into the first quarter. Regneri now scoring 25 seconds into the second.
Yeah, I mean, the Jumbos, they're not one for slow starts. I believe, if I remember correctly, they scored the first goal in, I want to say, 18 of their 22 last year.
And it appears the Jumbos have decided that they're just going to alternate face-off takers.
I mean, when you got 2 as good as these 2, why not? Frizzoli tried to shoot it.
That ball's just going to go on the sideline side of just going all out all the time, not afraid to make the risky play. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Most of the time it's worked for them so far this year, but not against the Jumbos tonight.
Yeah, and I think we're seeing that again. The Jumbos also willing to play the risky play defensively as they're going to chase the ball every single time, as we see here. But the captain's able to get set up, get their attackman on the field, and will look to have. But it should have been a shot call violation first. Nonetheless, Cody Oslander gets himself on the board, and it's 8-4.
And again, the Jumbos just alternating face-offmen, Salcedo taking that one and losing the draw.
Yeah, there's pros and cons to it. Pros, your face-off men kind of stay very fresh in terms of they don't get too rusty and they don't get too tired. The cons are if you have someone...
That means it's his 3rd goal of the day.
That is correct. He has 3, Eddinghausen with 2. Regneri leading all scorers on the day with 3 goals.
And they'll go back to Parker Meril for this face-off, who will, after some fighting...
I think they're going to get a violation on the captains. Oh, and the Jumbos. And Donalfo saying that they're offside to no. One is very much a competitive game, but with these 2 teams, you would expect nothing less.
I'm glad to see such a great turnout for a 6 p.m. game on a cold Wednesday night.
Captain's coming quickly. Cook tries to get his hands free. Can't. Excuse me, that is Brendes. Solomon going to go give him some trouble.
And for Timmons, that is the 2nd goal of the season. He got 1 against Connecticut College last weekend, and now with another against the Captains.
Yeah, I mean, and that's just the danger this Jumbos team poses in terms of depth. As another draw one by Salcedo. Fake down low. Regneri gets tripped up. Great stick check there by the captains. And then once again, they give it away to Eddinghausen.
Desperation flail from the captains.
Regneri dodges, skip pass. Kelly scores. And once again, a captain's turnover leads to an easy Jumbos goal.
That being Kelly's 1st of the day. And that is the 8th Jumbo to score a goal today.
Yeah, I mean, it's 3 times they've turned it over, but 3 times they've turned it over to Max Eddinghausen in a point-blank chance. Like, of all the Jumbos to give it to him, maybe Regneri you would rather give it to less, but Eddinghausen's very high up on the list of players not to give the ball away to.
The Jumbos with no shortage of potent attackmen, potent attacking midfielders. Many ways, just 43 seconds to go in the first half.
Yeah, and it was a 4-goal game 3 minutes ago, and the Jumbos 3 goals in 3 minutes to just drive a knife in the heart of the captains right before halftime.
Could they get one more now?
Wouldn't put it past them.
This is how the Jumbos put opponents away, with these big streaks of goals quickly, not giving the opponent a chance to respond.
Joey Walbaum just dropped 2 attackmen. Feed down low, extra pass, and the Jumbos get 13.
As easy as you like. The Jumbos just passing the ball around, a little tic-tac goal, as we like to say. getting another goal right before half, and I would not want to be in the halftime huddle that's about to be delivered by Mikey Thompson.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to, and I would not want to be a face-off man who has to deal with Salcedo and Parker Meril all night.
I mean, who needs Kurt Bruin when you have Salcedo and Meril?
Yeah, Mason Cohn was great, but these two showing there has been no drop-off. That one taken away. Captains have 9 seconds to salvage something. Pass down low, deflected. Flag coming down. Jumbos will likely start the second half man down, or they'll actually go man down for a
forward stick of Hanway, putting the Jumbos up 9, and this is not the start the Captains want, Riley.
Yeah, and I think that shooting it low like that is something I kind of expected more just in general today.
With the wet turf, yeah.
With the wet turf. And the Captains, I mean, you mentioned it at the halftime break, but losing face-offs is not going to help as the Jumbo's going to run. Joey Walbaum leading the transition for Zoli. Again with the long stick. Again finds the back of the net.
Frizzoli with his arms held high as the Jumbos now have opened up a double-digit lead in the third quarter as he had a full head of steam, fired that shot on goal, looked towards the reigning heavens, and celebrated with his team.
Yeah, just an absolutely dominant performance right now from the Jumbos.
And this is perhaps putting the rest of Division III on notice that we may have lost Swank, Boyden, Bruin, and Cone, but we are still an amazing team.
Yeah, absolutely. This team had built-in replacements from the start. What a spin dodge there. Still going, but he lost it in the end, did Michael Brost.
The Captains making this go from an 8-goal lead to an 11-goal lead, and now it being desperation time for the Captains as they will look to win a face-off and do so against Parker Meril, hoping to get some attacking possession going.
Yeah, I mean, just pure domination. And you talked about not wanting to be in the Christopher Newport huddle. I can't imagine the start of this second half has made them any happier. And whistle's blown. Unclear why.
We have fresh 80, I believe, for this game in the first 7 minutes of this third quarter. And this game, as I had mentioned, now it seems forever ago, this game has gotten away from the Captains.
Yeah, it's hard to remember, but with 3 minutes to go in the first half, this was a 9-5 game. And since then, it has been 8-0 Jumbos as part of a larger 16-3 run over the span. And when Mercado got his hands free, he was able to pick out the top right corner.
And Mercado, one of the players that the Captains need to get going and get back in this game, as they basically need the whole team as, well, that's the first step you need. You need to get the goals.
Yeah. First steps, goals. Second steps, winning faceoffs like they just did there. And we're standing right next to the captain's bench, and for the first time in what feels like forever, there seems to be a little bit of a spark. Maybe wishing they went to Florida.
Perhaps Florida, known for its warm rain. Medford, Massachusetts, and Bellow in particular, known for its not so warm rain.
Yeah, also known for very difficult games to be played, as no team has won a game on Bellow Field since the Union College Dutchmen in April of 2022. Incidentally, the Dutchmen will be the first team the Jumbos see after spring break here on Bellow from Robbie Adams. Or excuse me, they gave it to Andrew Cook. Robbie Adams came off celebrating it. We'll see if they change that later or not. Parker Meril back on the dot. And just when the Jumbos were starting to lose a little momentum, Parker Meril, easy as you like, wins the draw. He might have a look here. Through two, shoots just over the bar.
Good, and that being the third goal of the day for Andrew Cook, one of the players we...
As I believe they might go 2 men down here. No, they're going to go 1 man down. One was wiped off. There were 2 slashes on the play. And so Christopher Newport will be a man up here, but because of the goal, they will not immediately get possession.
It looks like the new face-off taker for the Jumbos will be Erik Helgeson.
Yeah, I mean, you look at someone like Helgeson, and most teams in D3, he would be their first-string face-off man. He was 534 from the dot last year, and he's the Jumbos' number 3 Fogo. Instant impact. Ben Clark, first shift of the evening, gets the ball and has the wiseness and the patience to say, I'm not going to overdo this. I'm going to bounce it off the soggy turf, knowing the wet ground will keep it down.
And yeah, the shots from in close are certainly exciting, but to me, the most exciting play in lacrosse is what just happened when an LSM winds up from the top of the arc and fires on goal.
Jumbos win that on the sideline, much to the chagrin of the captains.
No surprise to see that ball put in the back of the net.
And Jumbos back to full strength. Captains back to a single-digit game with 4 minutes to go.
As the Jumbos will give Helgeson some more opportunities.
That's not the opportunity I'm noticing, and the opportunity I'm noticing is Ben Friedman has gone in net. Connor Garzone's day is done. A good performance from the senior. And Erik Helgeson just put the other Fogo in the weight room.
And one of my takeaways from this game is that the Jumbos have no... Absolutely, that being the 4th goal of the day for Brenda. So he's had himself a decent night. The rest of the team, not so great with the scoring.
Captains finally figuring out the secret to unlocking this Jumbos team.
Winning faceoffs?
Problem is, they figured it out in minute 60. As we hit the 1 minute to go mark on Bello.